Thanks for joining us on the A+ app for our sports special on Iowa and Illinois playing in the Sweet 16. Over the next half hour, we'll get you ready for the big night of basketball as the Hawks and Illini play in the round of 16 in the NCAA tournament down in Houston. And speaking of Houston, that's where we will find Jenna Miner, who has been covering Iowa and Illinois. Hi, Jenna.
Seen a lot of Nebraska fans, but obviously a ton of Houston fans here. But I really am starting to feel like I'm in Houston. I got a cowboy hat out here, so we're having a lot of fun out here in Houston. Again, lots of Iowa and Illinois fans, so super stoked for those games later today.
Right in with the people down in Texas. Well, we'll tip off our coverage with the Hawkeyes since they are the first game of the night. And it doesn't matter what sport they play. Anytime Iowa and Nebraska play, there is no love lost between these two schools. Let's take a look at the last 10 games that the Hawks and Huskers have played. Since 2021, Iowa and Nebraska played 10 games with Iowa winning 7 times. Overall, Iowa leads the all-time series 26-16 with their longest win streak at 5 games. They split their 2 games in the regular season with each team winning on their home court. In Nebraska's win, they did go to overtime. So we will see who wins this third meeting of the season. And as Iowa and Nebraska get ready to play in the Sweet 16, there's a natural rivalry for the fans and maybe even the players. But for the coaches, there is mutual respect. Ben McCollum has watched Fred Hoiberg's team from afar and a little bit closer since they're both now in the Big Ten. And he says Hoiberg will have the Huskers ready to play.
He's obviously one of the best in the profession. He's as good as there is. You know, defensively, gets his kids tough. They play the right way, act the right way, and you know, he's special.
Now let's head back down to Houston as Jenna Miner has more on the Hawks making the Sweet 16. Jenna?
When Ben McCollum took the job a year ago, he needed players, and one of the first people to commit to Iowa and Coach McCollum was Bennett Sturtz. Now, Sturtz has been with McCollum all throughout his career. He recruited Sturtz to play at Northwest Missouri State back in 2022. The two quickly found success at the D2 level. Then when McCollum took the Drake job, Sturtz followed and was named Missouri Valley Newcomer of the Year and helped Drake to an MVC title and the NCAA tournament. And this year with the Hawks, Sturtz has been a leader for Iowa in their time together. The duo has a record of 114 and 24 and plenty of respect for each other.
I mean, it means a lot. My sophomore year, we made it to the Sweet 16 Division II, but I mean, it's definitely different here, and just the journey that we've been on together, and the player he's made me be and the man he's made me be is definitely special.
In order for the Hawkeyes to make it to the Sweet 16, they had to take down a 1 seed, the defending national champion Florida, and it came down to the game-winning bucket from Alvaro Folgueras. Now, Alvaro had his mom in the stands for that game and says it meant a lot for her to see that moment. But now another Folgueras will be watching Alvaro in the NCAA tournament, his brother Nacho. Alvaro excited for his brother to be in town and hopes to earn another tournament victory for him to see.
It's great. He came to Iowa State, to Ohio State. Then he came last year to the March Madness, and we almost beat Alabama, being Robert Morris. So now it's his turn to see a winner of the March Madness. Now my mom saw it twice. My brother was in the season in Ireland, but as soon as he had the chance, when he finished the season there, he felt he had to come as a big brother.
Iowa ended a 27-year drought of not making it to the Sweet 16. The last time they had a group make it this far, the top movie was Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Believe by Cher was the top song, and no one on the Iowa team, or even myself, was born yet. So either way, the Hawkeyes are ready to party and be a part of that Sweet 16.
You can go very far and just keep working hard and playing your heart out. You just go far in life, and just you'll surprise yourself sometimes. I surprised myself for being in the Sweet 16. Yeah, I never imagined being in the Sweet 16.
They had, a great moment as a Hawkeye fan, so I'm glad to give that to them. That's the best part of being a basketball player, the chance of making people happy. Every day.
It means a lot. I was in the Sweet 16 in Division II, but this just hits totally different. So just more of a spotlight on you, and we got to keep a level head and just focus on Nebraska one game at a time.
There are some ties from that 1999 Sweet 16 team to today's Sweet 16 team. So sophomore Cooper Koch, his dad J.R. Koch, played on that Hawkeye Sweet 16 team. Now the both of them have caught up about it and talked about it. Obviously means a lot to them, but both of them know how much it means for the program to be back at this spot.
I wish it had happened sooner, but it's definitely cool to finally get it done. I know it means a lot to him, means a lot to the fan base, to the family, to everybody. So hopefully we get a couple more of those. I know they lost to UConn the next game, but he said just enjoy the experience, enjoy it with your teammates, enjoy everything, and just take it all in and play your hardest.
Kory, I'll go ahead and throw it back to you for another local connection from that 1999 team.
Thanks, Jenna. Yeah, great stuff down there in Texas. So Joey Range graduated from Galesburg in 1998. He then played at Iowa for 1 year. I caught up with him to get his thoughts on that 99 team and the current Hawkeyes. I am now joined by Joey Range, a member of the 1999 Iowa men's basketball team. And currently you were an assistant coach this past year with the Galesburg boys basketball team. Is that correct, Joey?
Yes, back with my alma mater, and I love it.
Nice, nice. Well, take me back, I guess, what would that be, 27 years ago? Is it crazy to think 27 years ago you were a member of the Iowa Hawkeyes?
Time flies by fast, man. A lot of great times, great teammates, great coach. Yes.
When you went to Iowa from Galesburg, it was you and Rod Thompson both went to Iowa. What do you remember about getting to Iowa and just being a member of that Hawkeye basketball team?
I had been a fan of theirs for quite some time. Me and my teammate Steve Glasgow used to go watch games during high school. Then I finally met Coach Davis, Coach Close, fell in love with those guys. And when I was down there, Dean Oliver, Ricky Davis, I played against J.R. Koch in high school. So just a natural fit. Loved the campus, loved the black and gold, just loved everything about it.
Did you think that team had I guess, the opportunity and a chance to do what you did that year, which was make a run to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament?
Knew we had a chance to do something good. The year before that, like I stated, they went to NIT, so they didn't make the tournament. So when I got there, my goal was like, I want to, whatever my role is, I want to help this team make the tournament.
What was your role? Where did you eventually fit in with that team?
Scoring and defense, just finding my role in the offense, being at the top of the press on defense, and honestly, just doing whatever it took to win. It was a lot different from high school where you score all the time, you can do what you want. In college, you kind of find your niche, kind of find your role, and you got teammates that support what you do. So there was a lot of it was made it really easy.
As you guys got closer to postseason play, NCAA tournament, Big Ten tournament, things like that, what did you see a switch in this team, or was it something where it was building all year and you're like, yeah, this group now is really fine-tuned and we're right where we need to be going into postseason play?
I think going into March, we were fine-tuned, playing the right way. And then we just had a lot going on with Coach Davis and the lame duck status, didn't know which coach was coming in next. Honestly, a lot of us were confused why Coach Davis was leaving after, such a tremendous year.
So you get into the NCAA tournament. I think you guys were a 5 seed, is that right?
Yep.
So you play, I know it was UAB in round 1. Who'd you have round 2?
Arkansas. 40 minutes of hell. Yep,
yeah.
Nolan Smith.
That's right, Nolan Smith. That's right. Yep. So you get by UAB. What was that Arkansas game like?
Hard. I'll say that. We were playing in Denver, so it was hard to breathe, and they pressed us, and it kind of backfired on them.
You advanced to the Sweet 16. Can you imagine then that it has been, I guess, 27 years now, and since Iowa last did it with this team going now this year in 2026? Is that hard to believe that it's been that long since they've been to the Sweet 16?
Unreal, especially watching some of the teams after I left. A ton of talent on the team. I'm like, this team could do it. Always supported them still. This team could get there and just never got it done. The most amazing part for me this year was getting to watch J.R. Koch in the stands and his son Cooper come in and just play his butt off. Like that it almost brought tears to me while I was watching the game.
What's it been like watching them this year with the new head coach?
You can tell watching them play that he is obviously a good coach. Watching the team gel together, the way they came and knocked off a #1 team, That's playing for each other, that's culture. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
having a good coaching staff, good crew around you. When you can go and pull something like that off, that speaks volumes.
What's impressed you about their play?
The thing that I do like is it kind of is weird because I watch it, I'm like, oh, they play slow. But it's not as slow as people think.
Hmm.
There's a method to the madness. They obviously play great defense. They value each possession, so that part is very impressive.
Where were you on Sunday when they played Florida and they hit the shot and they win that game to advance? Where were you at?
In my living room, losing my mind. So excited for those guys. I text JR as soon as the game was going on in our group chat, then the whole chat went crazy, like I stated earlier. Just we were so excited, man. It was great. A lot of fun times. Back where they belong.
If they win on Thursday against Nebraska, does it put them in a different status as far as Iowa basketball teams that have played in the tournament?
Absolutely. One step closer to the goal. That'd be, man, I'm so excited to watch them. I hope we get this win. But it definitely put that team in upper echelon by far.
Thank you for taking a little bit of time and talking Iowa basketball.
Go Hawks. Absolutely. Thank you. Anytime.
Oh, it was great to catch up with Joey. Now let's go back down to Houston as Jenna Miner has a special guest to break down the Hawks and the Huskers. I'm outside the Toyota Center here with Hawkeye Report's Tom Caker. We're going to catch up a little bit about the Hawkeyes heading into their Sweet 16 matchup with Nebraska. So first of all, Tom, it's Iowa's first time in the Sweet 16 since 1999. Just how big is this for the team and the program, especially in Ben McCollum's first year?
Yeah, it's huge. First year for Ben. Getting to the Sweet 16, something that Iowa fans have really wanted for a long time, to make it to the second weekend, and they're here, and they're playing a familiar foe in Nebraska.
Yeah, and speaking of Nebraska, obviously Iowa and the Huskers, they met up twice in the regular season. Both very close matchups. Iowa got the win the first time, fell in overtime the second time. Just them having experience with this team they're taking on in the Sweet 16, how does that impact, I guess, their game plan, because they know this team?
Yeah, both teams know each other very, very well. They know the ins and outs of their offenses, their defenses, and what they're going to do. So that's what's going to be interesting is the chess match, is what does Fred Hoiberg do to counter Ben McCollum? What does Ben McCollum do to counter Fred Hoiberg? And I think you're going to see some of those adjustments, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I do expect a really close game because that's the way both the previous games have been played out.
Yeah, and then obviously Price Sanford, used to be an Iowa Hawkeye. He's with the Huskers, taking them on again. Just, do you think that adds anything extra to this matchup?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a big talking point going into the first meeting, and the Iowa fans were not very welcoming to Price when he comes back to Carver Hawkeye. The Iowa fans are going to be here, and they're going to be cheering against Price. But it's cool to see this for the third time, and I know Price wants to beat Iowa. I know Iowa wants to beat Price, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, and last question. So we got to catch up with the Hawkeyes in the locker room. Just talking to the players, what's the vibe you get from them, and just what was your takeaway from the locker room today?
It was really relaxed. I was down there with them in Tampa last week, and they were businesslike. This was a more relaxed, more fun. They're having a good time. Alvaro Folgaras, kind of the man of the moment right now. He's very excited to be here. His brother Nacho is with him. His mom was with him in Tampa. Now he's got his brother with him. So pretty exciting time for Iowa basketball.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Tom, for taking time to do this for us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk some Illini hoops. Welcome back to our sports special on Iowa and Illinois playing in the Sweet 16. We now shift our attention to the Illini. Jenna Miner back with us and has a story about the Ivisic brothers and their tight bond. Hi, Jenna.
Yeah, Kory, a big story for the Illini all season has been the Ivisic brothers. The twins have enjoyed playing with each other all season long and are excited to now be playing with one another in the NCAA tournament. Tomislav and Zvonimir both said that playing in March Madness together has been a dream, but they make sure to enjoy playing with one another every time they hit the court.
It's always wonderful to be with him. It doesn't change. Even if we go to final championship game, it's still gonna be amazing to play with him. So it's always a good feeling.
I mean, it's everything. We always dream playing together on big stages, and I feel like this is one of them. Yeah, it means everything.
Illinois freshman Keaton Wagler has burst into the scene this year, earning Big Ten Freshman of the Year honors. His breakout game with Illinois was against Purdue, and he scored 46 points. He leads the Illini in many offensive categories, including points, field goal percentage, three-pointers, assists, and steals.
One of the things that I noticed first about Keaton, through the summer I noticed Keaton was a winner. When we played open gyms, I remember sitting down with Coach Kory, we were joking because, winning is one of the things that I just want to focus on. And I was joking with him about how, I hadn't lost an open gym, and he goes, no, Keaton Wagler hasn't lost an open gym yet. And we set that straight. And that was one of the things I noticed first, is he wanted to make plays to help his team win. And so then now you see it in some of his individual talents and performances and stuff like that. But at his core, he just wants to win. And so that's why he's helped our team be successful and why our team's been so successful.
When he was a ninth grader, he was a little runt that was just tried to get beat up on by a bunch of older people. He doesn't back down from that. And that's not something that, he's going to be scared by. He's just the opposite. He relishes those opportunities. So that's part of the uniqueness of Keaton is he's mentally very tough and he's physically pretty tough.
Illinois and Iowa are two of the 6 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16, proving just how tough of a league it was this year.
It's been a great year. I've said all along that the league top to bottom has been as good as I've seen it. It's got great guards. The guard play's been phenomenal. Obviously, 3 teams in the South region from the Big Ten, speaks to the depth. And I just, it's not a shock. I would think that our league everything's a little cyclical. Last year was the SEC. Now it's our time, we'll hope we get that opportunity to play another Big Ten team.
When Illinois takes the court here at the Toyota Center tonight, they know they're going to have a large portion of the crowd against them because they're taking on Houston here in Houston. But Illinois says their tough road test this season has helped prepare them for this.
I think Coach Brad is an incredible master of creating chaos. And so then when we get through the preseason and before the season even starts, we've battled a lot of chaos through practice, through moments, and had to learn how to handle adversity as a team together. And so when we get in moments like this, we're very battle tested through the everyday, and I think that's why such of our phrase is everyday guys.
The Purdue game, but then also like UConn game, Tennessee game. It just helps us throughout the whole year, just staying composed. We know this team's going to go on a run, so when the crowd is hyped for them, we got to come together, huddle up, and get back on track.
I don't think there's going to be that much of a big crowd here as it was at those games, as you mentioned, especially Purdue. That was packed of Purdue fans. So I would say we are already adjusted to that environment, and we're going to be ready.
We've already experienced all these things. I think Mackey was also huge for us coming out with a dub. An arena that gets very loud. So it's just playing basketball. Now I just can't let the outside noise get in your head.
Let's get a breakdown now of Illini in Houston from our Illini insider, Kedrick Prince. I'm now joined by Kedrick Prince, the Illini insider for us here at WQAD. Ked, you've been with us now for a few years and providing some great content about Illinois men's basketball. Let me ask you about the run. Obviously, getting to the Sweet 16 is never easy, but they've now done it twice in the last 3 years. Is this pretty impressive or what?
When Brad Underwood got the job, That's what he said. He wanted to come to Illinois. He wanted a chance to win a national title. This coaches say that all the time. I get it. But Illinois, when he got the job, there was a storied program. They were struggling under John Gross, and his mission to us, when we went down to cover it, during his press conference, he was like, "Listen, Illinois is a place you can win. I didn't come here just to take a job. I want to win Big Ten championships, Big Ten tournament, and I want to go to the Final Four national titles." And so you look at 2003, they had a chance. They were in the final 8 with Terrence Shannon and Marcus Domask in their group. So I'm not surprised because they're recruiting Kory at a high level. They're putting guys in the NBA. They put 2 guys in the NBA back-to-back last year in the NBA draft. Terrence Shannon was in the NBA. Isles doing really well. So I'm not surprised. I mean, this is what Illinois basketball has traditionally been like.
Oh, this group of guys, obviously, he goes and he gets a lot of international players this year. And maybe a lot of people are thinking, how are they going to gel? How's he going to pull them together? It happened pretty quick. Yeah, they had a little lull in the middle of the season there, but that's kind of maybe the grind of the season, whatever. But where do you think this team is at right now after they've won their first 2 games in the NCAA tournament as far as chemistry and their play on the court?
Boy, I'm glad you asked that question. Right now, and I'm not just saying this because they're playing in the tournament, they won 2 games. I think they're playing the best basketball, and here's why. They're playing better defense than I've seen them play all year. If you go back and look at the Penn game and VCU, I mean, they're taking them out of everything. They're in their gaps. They're denying. They're not getting beat back door. Thomas Lavi Bisa is a 7-foot center, 7'1" center that started. He struggled defensively. He doesn't block shots. You go back to both of those games in the tournament, he's blocking shots. He's rebounding. They've changed their identity. I think they're always going to score. Most people in the country know if you watch them play, they were for 90% of the season, they were the number 1 efficiency offensive scoring in the team in the country. So having said that, now that they're playing defense, I like the chances.
Houston's going to be tough no matter where they play. Just because they're in Houston doesn't make them any more of a tough opponent, but they know what's ahead of them. How do you think these guys respond, knowing that that arena is going to be probably more than 75, 80% against them?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both teams play good defense, number one. And from what I was told, I mean, you got to think who's going to be down there in that same arena. But this is Big Ten country now. So everybody's going to be supporting everybody. And Illinois travels well.
There was a stretch in the season. They played without Kylan Boswell. Keaton Wagler really stepped up, and that's really when he started to grow, maybe even a couple weeks before that when he had that 46 against Purdue, and then kind of really started to blossom from there. Is he a guy that they need, Wagler, that they need to have that production from?
Keaton Wagler and David Merkovic are going to have a hard time scoring. What Houston does is this. They take their 2 top scorers, they eliminate them from the game. And so what Illinois is going to need to do, they're going to have Andre Stojakovic be special. They're going to have the Avicii's boys be special, Kylan Boswell, because, and I know Keaton knows he is not going to come out there. They're not going to let him do what Purdue did or what Fred Hoiberg let him do when he was in Nebraska when he had 23 in the second half. So it's not going to be easy for him. To me, this is a Final Four matchup, but it's too bad that you have to meet in the Sweet 16.
What will it mean for Illinois to get a win this round and advance to the Elite Eight?
That means you and I are going to have fun in the Quad Cities, especially if Iowa wins.
Thanks for taking a little bit of time. I know you'll be intently watching the game, a late game tonight, but you'll be up late watching, and I know it'll be a fun night, especially if Illinois can get a win. So thanks for the insight. All right, before we go, we'll throw it back down to Jenna one more time. Jenna, give me your predictions for tonight.
Oh, my predictions? Oh, geez. I think no matter what, we are in store for 2 really great games tonight. But I do think both Illinois and Iowa are hot at the right time. So, I don't know. I think Illinois and Iowa both have a chance to win tonight. I'm just really excited for 2 great games.
Absolutely. If they both win, you're going to be down in Houston. We'll have some great coverage over the weekend. So, hey, that'll do it for us. Make sure you join us tonight at 10 for the latest on Iowa and Illinois. For Jenna Miner, I'm Kory Kuffler. Thanks for watching.